My own cousin tried to steal my career, so I exposed him in front of my CEO. You ever have that one person in your life who treats your hard work like their own personal piggy bank? I'm talking about the kind of person who uses family as a hall pass to walk all over your boundaries, your bank account, and your peace of mind. For me, that was my cousin Marcus. Marcus is that guy, the one who's always one big break away from making it. But in the meantime, he's living in your guest room, eating your groceries, and, as I found out, driving your brand new truck to Coachella without asking. The vibe was always the same. If I complained, I was the unsupportive one. If I asked for gas money, I was being petty. But last Tuesday, the glass finally shattered. I work as a lead designer for a high-end furniture brand. It's a grind. I spend my nights sketching, my weekends at the warehouse. I literally poured my soul into this new mahogany collection. It was my ticket to the senior partnership. So, imagine my surprise when I walk into the showroom for the big unveiling, and there's Marcus. He's wearing one of my custom-tailored suits, holding a glass of expensive bourbon, and he's standing right next to the CEO, Mr. Sterling. I get closer, and I hear Marcus say, "Yeah, Sterling, the curve on that headboard? That was a late-night epiphany I had. I told my cousin here to just polish the edges, keep him busy." My heart didn't just drop, it went through the floor. Marcus wasn't just crashing on my couch anymore. He was rewriting my life. He was telling the man who signs my paychecks that I was just the helper for his genius. He looked at me, and he gave me that wink. That don't ruin the vibe, bro. Look, in the past, I would have stayed quiet. I would have played the part of the good family member to keep the peace at Thanksgiving. But I looked at the dark circles under my eyes in the mirror that morning, and I looked at Marcus, and I realized I was drowning so he could float. My heart didn't just drop, it went through the floor. Marcus wasn't just crashing on my couch anymore. He was rewriting my life. He was telling the man who signs my paychecks that I was just the helper for his genius. He looked at me, and he gave me that wink. That don't ruin the vibe, bro. Look, in the past, I would have stayed quiet. I would have played the part of the good family member to keep the peace at Thanksgiving. But I looked at the dark circles under my eyes in the mirror that morning, and I looked at Marcus, and I realized I was drowning so he could float. I walked right up to them. I didn't yell. I didn't make a scene. I just pulled out my phone, opened the timestamped files of my original sketches from 6 months ago, and handed it to the CEO. I said, "Actually, Mr. Sterling, Marcus is a guest in my home, but he has no part in this company. Those designs are mine, and that suit, it's from my closet." The silence was deafening. Marcus started stammering. "Oh, come on, it was just a joke. We're a team, right?" Mr. Sterling, a guy who doesn't tolerate an ounce of BS, just looked at Marcus, then looked at the security guard near the door. He said 3 words, "Escort him out." By the time I got to my car after the gala, my phone was absolutely melting. My aunt was screaming in my voicemail about how cruel I was. My mom was texting me that blood is thicker than furniture. They didn't care that he tried to steal my career. They only cared that I stopped letting him do it. But here's the thing. When I got home and saw his bags packed on the porch, I didn't feel guilty. I felt light. I felt like I could finally breathe in my own house. Sometimes, the people who claim to have your back are really just using it as a place to rest their feet. Stop being a doormat and start being the architect of your own life. It's a lot easier to reach the top when you aren't carrying a grown man on your shoulders. Was I the bad guy for choosing my career over his lie? Let me know in the comments.